talking about the things that I want to do might be a good idea. But first, I'm going to just say that I took a walk, and during the walk, there was a point where I actually slowed down my pace and just sort of strolled. And I've actually done that before, and the first time I did that, it was actually a really awkward feeling. Because, I've always thought of walking as, being purposeful. If you're purposefully walking slowly, it's like you're wasting effort or something like that. But, after you do it, like, once or twice, it's actually pretty nice, You get a better sight of all the things that you're looking at. Like, I was walking by a bunch of houses, by a bunch of trees. So I got to really take a look at them in a way that was much more detailed than I would have taken a look at them if I were just walking normally, or walking as fast as I could. So that's kind of nice, So if any of you ever are taking a walk, you should try it. You should try just walking nice and slowly. I think that, honestly, I think that would be a fun thing to do on a date. I think that's what people do on dates. They don't walk super fast. Or at least not when they're just hanging out. The hangout walk. It's a hanging out walk. And I like it. I like the feeling of it, the aesthetic of it. It's nice. So I'm probably going to do that more often nowadays. And, yeah, that's pretty much what I did. Before then, I was kind of feeling stressed. I was trying to think about, I went on a walk specifically so I could think about what my problem was, because I've been dealing with, a problem for 6 years, I think, now, and 6 years seems like not that much, because it's just, one problem, and, it makes the 6 years seem like they mean nothing. But, the problem was, just a constant doubting of my own opinion about things. I wouldn't doubt the facts, this is a hairpin, or that's a bottle, or that's a car tire, and they're made out of rubber so they have better traction. No, those are just facts, right? I just have a doubt about what I want, a doubt about my desires. Do I want to get into a relationship with a girl? Do I want to get married? Do I want to have friends? Do I want to... I just constantly doubt my desires, or my interests, I guess. There was some interests that I wouldn't doubt, because I guess I just had an attachment to them, but overall it was because I listened to something that made me cast doubt about everything that I knew and wanted to know. And I guess I can tell you the details about it later, because I don't really feel like telling the details about it, but it was life-changing in a kind of bad way, because it made me waste a lot of time, 6 years is a lot of time, and it's not like I haven't done anything in those 6 years. It's not like I haven't read anything or created anything or anything like that. I just feel like I haven't been myself in those 6 years, and I'm trying to get myself back. And I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, because I've learned a lot about desire in the 6 years, and I don't know that necessarily that I want to have a desire. I'd rather just have interests, Having a desire is having, you want it to happen, it has to happen, or you won't be happy, Having an interest is, well, I would be even more happy if this happened, or I would be even more happy if that happened, And that's kind of more what I'm interested in, That seems like a healthier way to look at life. But then again, it's difficult to decide whether I want to do that, or whether I want to, just have passion for things, because that tends to breed a lack of passion. I know Day9 is a YouTuber. He used to do commentary on StarCraft playthrough and StarCraft strategy, but nowadays he does Hearthstone videos. But he's a very good storyteller, and he, one of his videos, instead of going into a bunch of StarCraft strategies and stuff, he actually told the story of his StarCraft history, and how he was a very, very passionate, competitive guy who always wanted to win, and constantly he would, get emotional about it, and he would cry if he got so close to winning, or if his brother didn't win, or they were both very passionate, and they went to tournaments in StarCraft, and it was a very long story. It was a 2-hour story, but eventually he got to a point in the story where he actually did win, and he described the feeling of winning, and it was, you know, a euphoric feeling, and I don't necessarily know that it would have been as euphoric a feeling if he had just been sort of interested in playing StarCraft. He wanted to win, you know, he wanted to play it, he wanted to he wanted to win. And that desire to win, that passion seems to be something that crops up. So I don't know necessarily. It's really hard to decide, because if you want something, it's like you're not having it. You don't have it. I guess it works for some things, but for other things it doesn't work. Feeling a desire for something is different than actually doing the thing, I think. It's like there's a difference between wanting and having. You can either want something or you can have something. Have your cake and eat it at the same time. Can you do that? No. You have to have it or you have to eat it. And so, yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I guess I'll have to come to a decision eventually. But, you know, it's hard to come to a decision about that. I feel like so floaty. I mean, this whole self-doubt thing, it's doubt of who I am and what I want, really. This whole thing has made me into a very floaty person who just doesn't get involved with people, or doesn't get involved with many things. Like, there are certain TV series and movies and certain events that I've been involved in, but not that many, you know? And like, I know that before I had this problem, I would just, you know, be interested in lots of different things, like 3D animating. I'd be interested in music making, and it's not that I haven't done any music making since then. It's just that, like, I had an actual interest in it, you know? I had interest in reading, like, classic literature, interest in, like, listening to all different kinds of music from the Baroque period, from the classical period, from the Romantic period. I mean, I was interested in stuff, man. And I feel like I don't have that. I don't have that interest in stuff, that curiosity as much, and I just kind of want to get that back. But I don't know how I'm going to get it back. So, this is just me talking about what I'm going through, I guess. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to describe exactly what my problems are. I don't know how to, well, I mean, I guess I do. I just did, didn't I? I described exactly what my problems are. You see, that's another thing. Like, this floatiness, it affects the way that I talk about things. Because there was also another kind of nasty habit that I developed through dealing with this issue. I'll talk about the issue later. I know you're probably curious about what it is specifically. You could probably guess what it is, but if you can't, I'll talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it right now. But anyways, another habit that I ran into when I was dealing with this issue is just the habit of forcing a thought or forcing a concept into my head. So it's not that you naturally come to the thought, but it's that you force it, and it's a thought that I had already thought, you know. And that doing that is a very stressful thing. I don't even know how to describe what it is, because it's something so meta and so deep into thought. Like, okay, let's say you have a concept like the idea that a penny is made out of metal, right? That's the concept, right? When you first come to that concept, when you first understand that for the very first time when you're a little kid, it's like there's a euphoric feeling that comes with it, right? You feel fascinated and you feel interested, and it's supremely interested, and it's like, you know, there's like an endorphin rush when you first come up with like a new thought. And what I would do is try to think that same thought and get that same feeling of, you know, endorphins rushing through my head, but like every time I tried to do it, it would get less and less interesting. And like, that's just what I would do, because it was like I was looking for a solution to the problem, and I would come up with an idea, a really cool idea, and the endorphin rush made me feel good, so it made me feel like the problem was gone, because feeling good is like generally cool. But and then I just like keep thinking that idea, keep applying that idea to every single thing that I ever did, and then eventually that idea would just no longer matter. It would just have no feeling left in it, because I just used it up, you know. And you know, I don't think that's the natural way that you think about things. You don't force the idea over and over and over again. I think that's the wrong way to do it. You only use the idea or bring about the idea when it helps to come up with another idea, a newer idea, or it helps to tell someone a story, or if it helps to, you know, to explain something to someone. It's like there's different ways you can do it, but it's not, you shouldn't go chasing after that endorphin rush, I guess. Man, what else is there to talk about? You know what, not much. I guess this is the end of this session of my talking. Well, I guess I can talk about what I was inspired by and why I'm doing this. I mean, there's a guy on YouTube, his name is Digibro. He makes anime videos right now. He used to make My Little Pony videos. He was a brony at one point, but he kind of rejected being a brony and just became an anime guy. But, and his videos, they've always been meh to me, especially his analysis videos, most of them, because I don't know, just the way that he talks about something is just, maybe it's too on the nose, or maybe it's just too, there's something very floaty about it. But his personality has always fascinated me. Like, he is a person who is absolutely sure exactly who he is, and he's not ashamed of anything that he is. And that's rare to find in a person. And he's arrogant, but he's not arrogant in a way that's rude. He's just arrogant. He thinks highly of himself. And so that sort of combination of all that just makes for this really calming kind of person. And he's very good at talking about things. And one of his video series that he released, that he recently just started doing, was this video series called Digi's Decompression Chamber, where he'd just talk about stuff, you know? And he had like the anime background art from Nausicaa. You know, like one of the scenes from Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is a post-apocalyptic story, an animated movie, where, you know, plants, there's like poisoned air, and plants are responsible for it, and humans destroyed the world, and like, there's only very few places that have clean air, and whatever. But like, he would use shots, background shots of like, you know, animated spores flying by for his video. Just repeats of those kind of shots, and it kind of a cool, like the video, they have a cool feel to them. And his videos, they would last about like an hour or so, but like, they were cool. I really like videos about people just sort of talking and explaining stuff in a very calm manner, and he's always kind of had like a calm demeanor. I've never really liked his content for the content's sake, you know. I never really found any of his concepts that interesting. Maybe one or two or three, but like, his videos and the way he does his videos, they're not that good. Just like, to me personally. I know that they have good quality in general, I think. He has like 200,000 subscribers, so obviously it have to be good, but I've never found myself particularly engaged by his videos. But him as a person, just him talking about stuff, he's very good at talking about stuff in such a calm manner that it calms me down when I listen to it. And he's always had that ability. He's always been able to talk about stuff endlessly. And I guess I just kind of want to gain some of that ability, or at least find some of that ability, because it feels cool, I guess. I'm trying this out, and, you know, now that I've tried it, you know, just in a calm, nice and easy manner, I think it's working out better. So, yeah. This is inspired by Digi's Decompression Chamber, and I don't think he'd have a problem if I even named my thing the same thing as his, because like, he wears all of his references on his sleeve, and he's always taken things from people without being ashamed of it, so I don't think he'd have a problem with that. But I don't know, this will probably just be some kind of vlog, and I might do the same kind of thing where I have like some kind of background music and some kind of, because it just sets a cool environment. I like the environment of it, and the aesthetic, you know, just talking about things, talking about whatever you want. So this is going to be, I don't know what channel I'm going to release this on. I might even make a new channel for it. But this is my first of my random vlogs. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'll come up with a name before I upload it probably. So yeah, that's all that I have to say, and peace, guys. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good life, you know. Go find your dreams and chase them, you know. Alright, that's the end.